Battlefield is suddenly back. I'm just as surprised as you are, because what was the last Battlefield game you actually even played? And in this context, Battlefield Labs. Now, that's not the name of the official game, but Battlefield is back because of EA actually taking its head out of its hysteria and listening to gamers and trying to actually deliver a good Battlefield product. After years of mismanagement of the IP, EA is trying to do things properly this time, which is, I know, surprising. And with Battlefield Labs, the community now plays a direct role in shaping the game. So let's start with everything happening to Battlefield the franchise and why I'm actually excited and why the video is not really clickbait. So EA has formed Battlefield Studios, which brings together DICE, Criterion, Ripple Effect, and Motive. 4 studios. And this is essentially a copying of the Call of Duty strategy, where you have multiple studios working on games, so every single year is a Call of Duty. Battlefield is doing the same thing going forward. I don't know if the next Battlefield is coming out 2025. EA seems to think so, but I don't want to quote any dates. I expect at earliest this year, but realistically next year will be the first new major Battlefield. And effectively, while DICE is working on one Battlefield, Criterion will be working on the next, and then Ripple will be working on the next. So 2026, 2027, 2028 will all have a Battlefield game. And hopefully, this isn't just like a shitty copy of the Call of Duty situation and actually a properly implemented thing. And the reason why this is very likely going to be properly done is it's being directed, the whole project, by the people behind Titanfall and Apex Legends. EA brought them in to restructure and fix up all of Battlefield. So it gives me some genuine hope and genuine hype and just genuine belief that EA is actually doing this properly. So now let's talk about Battlefield Labs. And now Battlefield Labs is a player-driven development thing where they give a lot of dedicated fans and just fans in general access to this long-term alpha and beta where you continuously voice your concerns, your opinions, your thoughts on everything from demolition to gunplay to vehicles. It's no longer going to be this weird Battlefield ripoff that EA was doing. It's going back to its roots, what made the Battlefield franchise so popular in the first place, which is incredibly, again, I've said this a few times, but surprising. After Dragon Age, Veilguard, and the previous Battlefield games, and a lot of other mismanagement that EA has done, I'm surprised they're actually trying to fix Battlefield, and they seem to be doing an amazing job at it. Because anybody that's actually been testing Labs or played it have all got raving reviews of positivity. Battlefield's back. And I want to have that same enthusiasm, but I'm just mildly on hold. But the writing's on the wall and the writing looks good. And the first major playtest is going to be March 7, 2025, which is going to be huge. So if you're looking forward to Battlefield, get ready. There's going to be a shit ton of footage and news and information coming out in the coming few weeks, and I'm really excited for it. So let's talk about the return to Battlefield's core identity. Large-scale, all-out warfare with destruction, vehicles, and team-based combat. Bringing back legacy Battlefield mechanics that fans love, balancing realism and fun, ensuring better gunplay and class-based teamwork. When they say realism, if you guys remember some of the previous games, I'm not going to name anything, but you guys will know what I'm talking about. They kind of took the realism out of the game and focused more on the fun. Whereas the reason those fun moments were fun in the first place is because they let people take realism to its extreme. So going back to that is very smart, and it is one of the core identities of Battlefield. Making realism show the extreme things people are capable of doing. Another major thing is it's going back to being a true alternative to Call of Duty. Call of Duty has essentially been selling 30 million copies a year, give or take, because there's no real competition. There's no Halo, there's no Battlefield, it's just Call of Duty. When you're looking to buy your yearly FPS game, it's Call of Duty. And Battlefield has always been about open-ended battles, whereas CoD has been about more close quarters, twitchy-based combat. So Battlefield going back to those open-ended, giant, sandbox battlefields is huge. And the sandbox gameplay allows for unique, unpredictable moments, which is what made Battlefield viral in the first place. More tactical depth with squad-based mechanics, large maps, and vehicle warfare. On top of that is the long-term support of these new studios that EA is planning. Each studio has years to build their game, and they have support from all these other studios at the same time. You have 3 main studios and a full support studio. And the support studio will be bouncing between 3 companies, the 3 studios back and forth. So they'll be helping DICE, Criterion, and then back and forth. EA is also committed to ongoing updates and seasonal content post-launch, or so they say. I take that with a grain of salt. They're doing a stronger anti-cheat system and a focus on game stability from day one. Not sure how I feel about anti-cheat. You do need it, but most anti-cheat systems are invasive or terribly implemented, so I'm not super certain how that really vibes and feels with me. But we do need an anti-cheat regardless. And then modding support and community-driven content could be a possibility. They've been vague. I don't want to say for sure that we're going to get that. I would hope we do, but I'm going to be realistic. We're probably not, but I would hope that we do get some mod support and community-driven events and things of that nature. Now, before I end the video, I do want to talk about Battlefield's core identity a tiny little bit more here. And one of the biggest criticisms of Battlefield 2042 was that it strayed way too far from what made Battlefield special. Specialists replaced the traditional classes, which made teamwork feel disconnected. The lack of destruction and unbalanced vehicle combat made the experience generic. And that's not a word that should be used to describe Battlefield. Call of Duty can be generic, but Battlefield should have never felt generic. Every match, every moment should have been unique and exotic and interesting, and it just wasn't. And the map design issues led to frustrating gameplay. Whereas the upcoming Battlefield supposedly is going to bring back that proper squad-based combat with like assault, engineer, support, recon, things of that nature. I'm not sure if that's going to be the actual class names, but... And then you have the Levolution and large-scale destruction, which makes the battles feel dynamic, and that was like one of the core things. If you guys remember Bad Company or Battlefield 3 and 4, apartment buildings getting destroyed. Just the pure unfiltered destruction is what made these games so iconic. EA knows Battlefield thrives on open-ended combat, tactical team play, and epic large-scale battles. They're refocusing on it. And that is why I'm so hyped. That's why this video's title is so hyped, because I genuinely believe that EA is going above and beyond to return us back to what made Battlefield special in the first place. So is this the best Battlefield yet? Is this going to take us back to form, which is a term that's been thrown around a lot? I don't know. Battlefield Lab lets players be actively involved in shaping the game before it even hits its beta. EA is finally listening to the community, and there's a return to all the core gameplay loop that people seem to want. The hype, it's real, and Battlefield's future looks brighter than it's ever looked in a very long time. So I'm honestly going to say a very tentative, I genuinely believe Battlefield is back because EA needs to make money. And when a company needs to make money, they'll actually make a good product. EA lost a lot of stock value recently with Football Club and Dragon Age Veilguard. They need to hit it out the park with Battlefield to get that stock value and billions upon billions of dollars back. So I'll see you all in the test on March 7th. Maybe Halo will get the same treatment one day. So thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike and subscribe so you can hate my next video as well. Ebenhard out. Peace.